benchmarking, the theory topic. Based on this topic, past exam theory questions are there. Explain benchmarking. Benchmarking represent it is a process of identifying and learning from the best practicing practices anywhere in the world. With respect to benchmarking represent benchmarking person, benchmarking industry, benchmarking company. We want to identify and we want to follow who is the best practicing firm in the world. We want to follow that footprint so that we can be the person to give more quality and we can be the person to achieve the organization goal. So it's a process of identifying and learning the best practices anywhere in the world is called benchmarking. What are all the code of conduct on benchmarking? With respect to code of conduct, first one, principle of legality. Second code, principle of exchange. Third one, principle of confidentiality. Next, principle of use. Principle of first party contract. Next, principle of third party contract. And 7, principle of preparation. I'll repeat once again. Code of conduct with respect to benchmarking, principle of legality, principle of exchange, principle of confidentiality, principle of usage, principle of first party contract, principle of third party contract, and a principle of preparation. Here with respect to benchmarking, we want to follow the best practice firm in the world. Here, if you want to follow means just copying from the technique of the best practicing person in the world. If you want to copy, if you want to follow, it's official manner we want to follow, not just like that we are going to follow. For that purpose only, code of conducts are there, legality, exchange, confidentiality, how to use that particular, the particular firm's practice, first party contract, third party contract, the preparation, everything you have to follow. For the purpose of benchmarking, prerequisites also there. There are 3 prerequisites for successful benchmarking. 3 prerequisites for successful benchmarking. This is also past exam question. Sorry, 4 prerequisites are there. 4 prerequisites for successful benchmarking. First one, support from the top management. Second prerequisites, clarity with respect to the scope of work. Clarity in scope of work. Availability of sufficient resources. Availability of sufficient resources and communication to stakeholders. First, before we are going to do for benchmarking, we need support from the top management. Which activity, which area you are going to follow. The scope should be clear. To implement the same, we need sufficient resources and that we have to communicate to our stakeholders. These are all the 4 prerequisites for successful benchmarking. Then, stages in benchmarking. Stages in benchmarking process. For the purpose of stages in benchmarking process, first we have to identify the area. What are all the areas which are core to the business? We have to identify the core area and then select the top performing companies. In those areas. So we have to identify which area is a core area. Core area represents that central area that's going to create more and more profit to the company, which attract our company's shareholders or company's customer. That particular area, in that area or in that areas, what all the companies are there performing well, that we have to identify. For that purpose, we are having 5 stages. First one, planning. Second one, collection of data. And information. Third one, analyzing and finding. Fourth one, recommendation. And fifth one, monitoring and reviewing. There are 5 stages are the planning, collecting the data, analyzing, recommendation, and monitoring. For the purpose of planning, we have to identify area to be benchmarked. Area to be benchmarked. So first identify in our organization which area we have to benchmark. Then, after identifying the area, in that area, in that stage or in that process, the best practice. Who is doing the best practice? That company we have to identify. Then we have to establish process improvement team. Then we have to measure the benchmark. So these are all the areas we have to do the planning. So planning consists of first, which area we want to do the benchmark. In that area, we have to identify best practicing firm in the world. Then to do the process, we have to appoint the proper team, establish the team, and measure the performance. So for that and all, we need proper plan. Thereafter, we are going to collect. With respect to collecting the data or collecting the information, that data collection to be through mail survey, from suppliers we have to collect the data, companies visit by way of telephone, by way of interviews. This is all the manner we can be the person to gather the data. Then analyzing. With respect to analyzing, after collected the data, we have to do the analysis. We have to identify the gap in performance between our organization, our company, and the better performance company. So analysis represent, we have to identify how the best practicing firm performing and what about the performance, what is the gap. That analysis we have to identify. After identifying the same, we have to identify the explanation for the gap. Why there is a gap between expectation and the actual, expected company's performance and best practicing firms performance as well as our performance. We have to identify the explanation, the gaps, why it has happened, like variance analysis. Then we have to identify opportunities for improvement. How to remove the gap? If there is any opportunity, those things you have to follow. Then fourth one is recommendation. With respect to recommendation, feasibility of making the improvements. So we have to find the feasibility of making the improvement. Then we have to pass the agreement of the improvement that are likely to be feasible. Then we have to give a report on the benchmarking. Then we have to obtain support of key stakeholders. Thereafter, developing the action plan. So, with respect to recommendation, it covers feasibility of making the improvement. Further, we have to prepare the agreement. The report we have to send to the benchmark, report of the benchmarking we have to send, and we have to get the support from stakeholders and the necessary action. We have to developing the action plan for the implementation. This and all it comes under recommendation. Then, after recommending the same, the benchmarking process, the last one, we should not leave as it is. We have to monitor, follow up we have to do. Monitoring and reviewing. With respect to monitoring and reviewing, it involves evaluating the benchmarking process undertaken, and the results of improvement. Evaluating the benchmarking process, whatever we undertake, and the result we have to monitor, result of the improvement. Then documentation process also you have to do. Documenting the lessons, whatever we learned. And periodically reconsidering the benchmarking. Reconsidering the benchmarking. These are all the steps you will do for reviewing. So there are 5 stages are there with respect to the implementation of benchmarking. Frequently asked question. First one, planning. Second one, collecting the data and information. Third one, analyzing and finding. Fourth one, recommendation. Fifth one, monitoring and reviewing. So these are all what stages with respect to benchmarking. Then next question. Types of benchmarking. This is also frequently asked question. With respect to types of benchmarking, there are 6 types are there. One is competitive benchmarking. Next, strategic benchmarking. Global benchmarking. Process benchmarking. Internal benchmarking. and external benchmarking. So competitive benchmarking, strategic benchmarking, global benchmarking, process benchmarking, internal benchmarking, and external benchmarking. With respect to competitive benchmarking, here we are going to compare with the competitor's product, the service, the process. Accordingly, we want to improve in, that is called competitive benchmarking. Strategic benchmarking represents the process in which how we are going to improve, that we are going to compare in, that is a strategic benchmarking. Then global benchmarking represents international culture. If you want to follow, then it is called global benchmarking. Now how we are going to adopt India AS, IFRS, US GAAP and all, that and all, global benchmarking. Process benchmarking represents critical process, business process and operations. That alone we are going to compare, that is called process benchmarking. Next, internal benchmarking represent within the same organization. If you want to one unit to another unit, one branch to another branch, if I'm going to compare, that is called the internal benchmarking. External benchmarking, one organization to another organization, if I'm going to compare, that is called external benchmarking. Here, the concept-based questions also there. With respect, yes.
Can you tell it strategic alone once more?
Yeah, strategic benchmarking represent. It's a similar to the process benchmarking. Similar to the process benchmarking. Here also, is it what scope or which area, which strategy you are going to follow. That alone, if I'm going to compare, that is called a strategy. Here, every activity or the process involved in the business we are going to compare. Process is different from strategy. Concept-based theory questions also there. First one, identify the following terms comes under which type of benchmarking. Each one carries 1 mark, 5 mark question. So first you should know the types of benchmarking, out of which identify which type. It involves seeking parent from within the same organization. So within the same organization mean that
internal benchmarking.
Internal benchmarking. Next one, it involves the comparison of competitors' product, process, and the business results.
Competitive benchmarking.
Competitive benchmarking. You know the types, identification is very easy. Third one, it involves seeking helps of outside organization that are known to the best in the practice.
External benchmarking.
So external benchmarking.
Global.
Next, it involves the comparison of an organization critical business process and operation against the best practice organization.
Process
benchmarking.
Process benchmarking. Then it's a benchmarking through which destination in international culture, business process, and trade practice across companies or international trade practice that comes under one?
Global benchmarking.
Global benchmarking. So, for your quick reference, with respect to benchmarking, it's a small topic, but very frequently asked questions are there. Just remember 4, 5, 6, and 7. With respect to benchmarking, 4, 5, 6, 7. With respect to 4 prerequisites are there. 5 stages are there in benchmarking. 6 types are there. And 7 code of conducts are there. What are all the 4 prerequisites? support from top
Support
management, clarity in scope, availability of sufficient information and resources, communication to stakeholders. These are all the 4 prerequisites. 5 stages with respect to benchmarking, sir.
planning,
Collecting the data, analyzing,
Recommendation, monitoring and review.
monitoring and review. 6 types of benchmarking. Competitive benchmarking,
Competitive benchmarking, strategic benchmarking,
global
benchmarking,
external
process
benchmarking,
benchmarking, internal.
7 code of conduct in benchmarking, sir. Principle of legality, principle of
Exchange,
principle of confidentiality, principle of usage, principle of first party contract, third party contract, and
principle of preparation.
manageable